You too.
Welcome back to PGI, where I am joined with a new face. I don't remember if this is your first time actually on PGI, but I think it is. Mr. J.W. Hartshorn coming over from the Charleston Predators head coach as well as their cornerback, coming off a great win. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Hey, making it. Coming off a loss. So
And it was a good game. That's all you can really
it
ask
was.
for.
Hey, it was a great game. It was a great game. Um, But yours was even better. I mean, John Lakeman kind of went off with you guys, and I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe a certain fire was lit um, on this for the head from the head coaches or towards the head coaches. So, what changed for Charleston to get this win over Nashville? Because like Lakeman had a fantastic game with over 300 yards passing himself. So, what
I
was it?
mean, from honestly, I think it was a byproduct of us having those like that week and a half, 2 weeks that like we had a fairly decent game against Albuquerque with him. Made a couple mistakes here and there. Couldn't get the run game going. That was really what did us in. But like we kind of had an idea of how we wanted to get the offense going, and like I'll be entirely honest, within the hour of our game against Albuquerque, I was already working on our game plan for Nashville. I know I did at least over 100 sims and situation mode runs of just trying to figure out what to do to get. If we could get Lakeman going, it helps us in every other facet. So yeah, it was just a fun project, and I know he really enjoyed it. Uh,
You know, and it's crazy because even just looking at the turnovers, you guys had three turnovers. They only had two. They had the ball longer with 17 minutes and 10 seconds to your 16 minutes and 43 seconds. Um, but you guys had no penalties. They did have a penalty. So, I mean, it was just good Charleston football from my standpoint. But what do you think that you're going to have to do to improve for next game, though?
well, I mean, I'm already working on the Bossier City game plan as we speak, but I mean, big thing is just keep on finding what works for us. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like I've scouted literally Bossier City's entire season up to this point. I I really need a life. But I think the big thing is just finding the right plays, the right kind of like personnel for each formation that really just works with us. I mean, I think going back to the national game, I mean, we could we had a punt return that was fumbled, returned for a touchdown, and a rare play that our defense decided, hey, we're not gonna cover Banfield. I think we could have potentially won that game a little bit better. Just yeah, it ended up being a lot closer than it
Yeah,
probably should have been. But I mean, Nashville's always a tough matchup.
indeed. Well, incredible good game. Great defensive stand at home. And I cannot wait to see what you guys do for the rest of the season. Good luck to you.
Thank you, and good luck to you guys.
Appreciate it. Back to you in the booth. All right, and we are back with PGI. And I'm joined with another great friend of mine, Mr. Alex West, happy as can be, coming off a fantastic win for the Lexington Miners over the DC Dragons. And I mean, everybody kind of counted you guys out in this game, so I know that this has to feel good for the Lexington Miners. How you doing?
Contenders, schmontenders. I don't care what you have to say, Friday Night Crew. Yes, I listened. Yes, I paid attention. Yes, I'm upset about it. DC gets pants coming into our house after getting crowned a contender. Oh, victory is sweet. Victory could not be sweeter. These are my favorite ones to win. The real task ahead is like fairly everyone's already counting us out against Minnesota, but like I'm just now that I'm just hungry for that one too, for on pride alone, you know.
I bet. I bet. I mean, it was a really good, interesting game to watch. I mean, and you had some crucial catches. The first quarter, you had the three, like you would thought targeted three times, but then in the fourth quarter, that crucial catch to kind of put the nail in the coffin. Tell me what was going through your mind at that moment.
Well, it was one of those things where we're lining up and there's nowhere to go but deep, because we have to. It's the clock is winding down. It's not our friend, and it's a tie ball game. We were holding a solid lead for the majority of the first half, and into the half I think we had a 17-7 lead going into the half, so we firmly had control. But it was time to lock in. And it was something that Gabe really talked to us in the huddle, got the mind straight. Kenny gave us the play call. And I think those two guys and their leadership has done a lot to really bring the best out of our offense, because I'm still a raw diamond in the rough. I'm still growing. I'm not, I would say I'm overperforming. And putting on my big boy britches for wide receiver two a little earlier than I should, but it's Gabe and it's Kenny that make that, and DJ that make all of that possible.
So I know there had to be a feather in the cap, when you do listen to the Friday Night Cruise and everything, and you actually are able to answer on the field, especially like you said, through with DC being one of the contenders and oldest teams in the SFL. So I know that has to feel good for you guys.
Definitely. You never it's always bulletin board material in the biggest of ways, right? Whenever you get counted out before the game even starts, whenever you're being predicted to be just a stepping stone, there's nothing that makes you want it better. So I guess thank you, Friday Night Crew. You gave us something extra to play for. And also, just some incredible extra effort was done by the coaching staff to really put together a nice one, a real winning game plan that we were able to execute on.
Did you know that there were actually six teams that scored 17 and lost?
What the curse of the 17 this week was bizarre. I called that Canton game where they were up over where they ended up over Motor City, which that game was really bizarrely close. Motor
Mhm.
City being that close but still losing on 17 was wild, especially when you look at all that happened this on the rest of the week.
All right. Well, this is going to go down in history. Week 10, curse of the 17, but not for Lexington Miners. Congratulations, y'all.
Thanks so much, and thanks for having us. Thanks for having me on the show. Have a great one.
You too, Alex. Thank you for being here. Back to you in the booth. Welcome back to PGI, where I'm joined with a brand new face on PGI. And especially in my interview realm, I'm really honored to meet Mr. Jimmy Showtime Hatiz, cornerback, as well as Denver Nightwings defensive coordinator, coming off a huge win against the once undefeated Arizona Scorpions. You guys had that secret sauce to get what you need to do done. So congratulations to you guys. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Ashley. It's Victory Monday. We're so happy. An honor to be in the league. I've only been in for a short time, for about maybe 2 months, and we are so proud to have been on the same field with you guys. You guys have an amazing team. The game had us on our edge of our seats the whole time. We were so thrilled to get our first victory against you guys, and the quality of that victory just felt so good because you guys are such an amazing franchise. I know the Denver Nightwings at one time were a glory franchise. We've been trying to get them back there, and you guys set the standard. We wanted to be just like you guys, up in the top ranks, somebody that everybody talks about. So we're so happy to have had a great game against you guys. Thank you for the game.
Hey, trust me, we wish that the outcome was a little different, but it was a great game nonetheless, and you pay for the emotional content that we provided. So, it was a really great game, and you guys had the right game plan to get it together. Now, you are new to the league. Actually, you and Mr. Mike Goodman over there helping out, Jeremy Vega. You guys are new to the league, so what was some of the challenges that you guys faced helping with going over to help Denver this season? I know that there were a lot of people wondering, like, who are these guys? What do they know? Things of that nature. So would you mind sharing a little bit of that with us today?
Oh, absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth. I want to thank the Night Wings players, the Night Wings staff, everybody bought into a concept that we came with. We were nobody. We came right off the street. We had a lot of football experience, and that's what we basically sold the Night Wings players on was, hey, listen, guys, we know football. We've been in other war. We understand the concept of what it takes to build a winner. But hey, I'm sure that those guys that were in that locker room were thinking, yeah, well, we've heard this story, this song and dance before, but they bought into it. They were behind us 100%. Even the first game, I don't know if you recall, a month ago when we first took over, we got our butts spanked. After that, we've been scratching and crawling. And now to have this victory, it just feels so good to pay off to those Nightwing guys in the locker room to say, hey, guys, you stayed behind us. You were dedicated. You supported us. And now we came through with a victory. So, yes, we did a lot of planning, a lot of work. I'm sure you guys do the same. And all the great teams have to put in a lot of work. So Mike Goodman and I spent countless amounts of hours getting together game plans, playbooks, getting our settings right so that we could have the best opportunity. And to be honest with you, I'm sure out of 25 people on 25 different teams, probably 0 gave us a chance to win that game last night. So it felt really good for the Night Wings locker room to come out and say, hey guys, the wait paid off. You guys got what you deserved. And there's a lot of good players in there and a lot of guys who deserve that feeling of being victors.
Indeed. Well, Jimmy, I am so glad that you took time out of your busy schedule to sit down and have a conversation with me, and I cannot wait to go more in detail with you about your career very soon.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Go Night Wings. We hope to see you guys again in the near future and have another awesome game. Thank you so much, Ashley.
You're very welcome. And yes, I hope to see you again very soon, down the road, and hopefully a different outcome. You have a good one, Jimmy.
You too.
Back to you in the booth. Welcome back to PGI, where I'm joined with head coach extraordinaire, Mr. Eddie Gauge. Unfortunately, this is not a good time for this brother here. We just came off a loss to the Night Wings. Well fought battle. It was just that, they had the better game plan at the end of the day. So, Coach, can you please tell us what happened out there?
Got off to a good start, marched down the field, scored a touchdown. Offense looked good doing so. But then that kickoff return they had for a touchdown immediately after can be demoralizing. I mean, you spend, 5 minutes on the field working them, and then just to come back and get punched in the mouth with that kickoff return. That hurt. And but tried to fight through it. I commend them. In particular, their defensive coordinator. He threw some wrinkles in there this week he hadn't shown before. And it came out to bite us. They got a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and we persevered through it in the first half as he was able to fight off would-be sacks and get the ball out. But it was only a matter of time before our luck ran out in the second half. I don't know if it was the injuries that our run game fought through or what, but when they came back, they just never looked the same, and we just could not get the run game going and had a few drops here and there sprinkled throughout that just were untimely, and then we got the win. Shout out to them.
Indeed. With the new coaching staff over there, I know that they were really excited to get this win. And of course, on the other side of that coin, Arizona is still 7-1, still number 2 overall now, but still number 1 in the West Division. So there's things to hang your hat on in that regard. But how do you plan on preparing for Florida? That just came off a loss, so I know they're going to be playing angry.
Ain't nothing to hang your hat on after a loss for me. I don't know. Losing freaking sucks. I hate it. But like you said, I can't hang my. I don't have time to soak over it because we got the defending champions now 2 times running. And we going to 8th place, and they got a bye week before that matchup. So it's like Bill Belichick giving a bye week before facing the Chiefs. It's just unfair. But no time to make excuses. We just gotta go out there and find a way to come up with a W. As far as preparing for him, I don't know. I speak to Mighty every day, and he gives me pointers and stuff he sees that needs to be improved upon. But he don't talk about that stuff the week we're playing him. So I kind of feel alone in that regard. But hopefully, what he has taught me can help us get a victory next week.
Indeed. You're very intelligent, brother, so I know you're going to figure it out, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Anytime. Thank you so much for your time, and back to you in the booth.